please feel free to ask questions as we go through. And then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. We do have a lot of updates, so we do anticipate having some questions, and we're going to be happy to stay on afterwards to answer as much as you'd like. So with that, we'll jump right in. Our first update. Oh, that's just me. Sorry, I'm Leah Triplett. I'm the Development Director for San Diego for Susan G. Komen. And we've got our first program update is our Groceries for Good. So last year, we identified a need for cancer patients to receive groceries. They didn't want to put themselves at risk for being immunocompromised by going out and risking themselves or their family members to COVID. So we partnered up with the Padres Foundation, Padres Pedal the Cause, Albertsons and Bonds, and US Bank to launch the Groceries for Good program. And this program has delivered over 1,250 bundles to patients weekly, and to over 75 San Diego families have been assisted through this. And however, throughout the year, there was a recognition that the people that were food insecure was greater, the cancer patients that were needing this service was greater than what we could partner and provide with the current program. And so this has been moved forward from the San Diego Padres, CureBound, and Feeding San Diego's have partnered to provide this new initiative called Feeding Patients. It will be managed by Feeding San Diego, and this provides 50 pounds of food, of dry goods, frozen goods, and fresh produce to families, cancer patients and their families each month. And it's able to be picked up at a centralized location in San Diego. So we're just really happy to see that this program has grown and that we can continue providing services like this in San Diego. So we're happy to have that move forward. Our next update is our public policy and advocacy. Every year, Susan G. Komen has, unveils or announces their priorities for the next 2 years, and these are our priorities for the next 2 years. So accelerating research, as it is the driving force of advances in diagnosing and treating breast cancer, and supporting increased access to clinical trials for all patient populations. So this is for expanding the federal funding for all biomedical research, support state funding for breast cancer research and programs conducted through the state institutions, and supporting increased education and access for clinical trials for all patient populations, including those populations traditionally excluded from clinical research. Ensuring access to affordable and high quality care for all patients, understanding that everyone must have equitable access to our healthcare system in order to reduce breast cancer mortality. So this will protect access to affordable, high quality healthcare, support federal and state funding for the CDC and the National Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program, and advocate for policies to modernize state programs to expand eligibility and provide breast cancer screening and diagnostic services for additional populations. And then we have alleviating the patient burden through robust public policies that addresses both the financial toxicity of treating breast cancer and the systemic hurdles patients must overcome to access their care. So this will reduce or eliminate out-of-pocket cost for all medically necessary screening and diagnostics, protect patient preference, enhance coverage, reduce costs, and address barriers to breast cancer treatments, including those that would require oral parity, preclude specialty tiers, prevent step therapy protocols, prevent usage of copay accumulators, or limit patients' out-of-pocket costs. So these are the main areas of priority for Komen moving forward. And with that, we have a quarterly update on what we've been doing with legislation and letters that we've signed on to. So the Metastatic Breast Cancer Access to Care Act was reintroduced in the Senate and the House a few weeks ago, and the act is one of Komen's top legislative priorities. It's under the current policy, MBC patients are subject to a 5-month waiting period for Social Security disability insurance and a 24-month waiting period for Medicare benefits. And so this bill would eliminate these waiting periods, which are a significant burden in access to care. The Connect for Health Act. So we joined more than 150 organizations supporting this act. It's a comprehensive telehealth bill that provides broader flexibilities for telehealth, allowing more patients to receive care from home while also widening the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services to make changes to the telehealth policies. And so the next three are letters that we've signed on to. The Lymphedema Treatment Act, and this bill would require coverage of medically necessary compression treatment items as durable medical equipment and covered by insurance. Coverage priorities is prioritizing healthcare policies, such as permanently codifying the advanced premium tax credits, limiting patients' out-of-pocket cost, and strengthening Medicaid coverage. And NIH funding is stressing the importance of robust and consistent funding for the NIH and encouraging members of Congress to commit $10 billion to restore this organization post-pandemic.
All right, thank you, Leah. It's always great to get to share all the amazing work that our Komen family is doing on behalf of our patients. So now we want to take a moment to honor and remember Irene Oberbauer, who was a treasured member of our Komen family, who passed away from metastatic breast cancer last November. And for those of you who didn't know Irene, she was a past Race for the Cure honorary survivor and also a former Komen San Diego board chair, as well as a respected business leader, wife, mother, and proud grandma. And as a special tribute to Irene, we made a short video to honor her legacy of giving in San Diego. Irene was a true champion for Komen's mission, and she and her race team, I owe it to myself, personally raised over $280,000 over the last decade. And we're really grateful to have worked with Irene's husband, Tom, to continue her legacy by establishing the Irene Oberbauer Breast Cancer Fund, which will support Komen's research initiatives and provide direct financial assistance to other San Diegans who are fighting breast cancer now. If you'd like to learn more about Irene or donate to the Oberbauer Fund, you can visit komen.org/Irene. And now I will turn it over to our colleague, Stephanie Myers, who's the National Development Director for the Susan G. Komen 3-Day.
Thank you, Francisco. That was a beautiful tribute to Irene. Really, I'm in a second, but just a reminder of why we're all here and why we do what we do every day. So thank you for that. I am excited to be here. As Francisco said, my name is Stephanie Myers, and I manage the 3-day series. And I'm also a San Diego resident. Even with this accent, I promise I've been here for 6 years. So I love working with the team here and collaborating and delivering as much support to Susan G. Komen's mission as possible. And I'm going to talk to you today about Komen's signature, one of Komen's signature events, the Susan G. Komen 3-day. You can go on to the next slide. Thank you. Now there's no trick with the name. Somebody must have said back in the day, okay, we walked 3 days, let's call it the 3-day. And so here we are. It's a 3-day, 60-mile walk that was scheduled to be held in 4 cities in 2020 and 2021. And I'll talk a little bit later about the shift we made because of the pandemic. But people walk the 3-day because, you know, they say they can't sit by the sidelines. 92% of our walkers have watched a loved one go through a cancer diagnosis, through surgery, through chemo, and about 8 to 10% have gone through it themselves. So the 3-day is a challenge. I know many of you are familiar with it. I see Mrs. Neal, I know her and her family come out and support the walkers, but it's a big commitment. And what they say is, no matter how hard it is, it's not as hard as breast cancer. Next slide, please. So as we entered 2020, obviously there were some curveballs that were thrown at all of us. And because of the uncertainty that came along with the pandemic, we postponed our 2020 3-day events to 2021. And really in hopes that we would be able to safely hold all 4 events this year. And we really thought we would be able to. As a little background, you'll see here that our first 3 events are what we call hotel-based. And this means that everything is based out of a hotel. So we use ballrooms for our ceremonies and our meals, and what we traditionally call camp and Main Street. Our participants share hotel rooms, and everything is centered around hotel. And the San Diego 3-day, on the other hand, is our traditional 3-day and remains our only camping city. And it's because of the really amazing space that we have at Mission Bay and the typically mild weather. Our participants do camp out for this event. So we provide tents and bathrooms and showers and meals. And we basically set up kind of a mini city on Mission Bay. It's really, really fun. But as we moved into early 2021, you know, we determined that with the uncertainty of the country reopening and the speed of that reopening, that we wouldn't be able to safely hold our hotel-based events because of cramped hallways and packed ballrooms. So for 2021, there are really 2 options to participate in the 3-day. One is in San Diego, so right here in your backyard, because it's outdoor, it's spread out, and gave us the most opportunity for, if we needed it, social distancing, and from a timing perspective was the latest in the season. And the second is an at-home version. So it's in your own community, it's more virtual, and it's called 3-Day Nation. Next slide, please. So I'm gonna spend most of my time today on the San Diego 3-day, and I know I don't have much time, Leah, and I am trying to get through it as quickly as possible, but did wanna mention 3-Day Nation, which I said is our virtual in your own community offering for those who are unable or unwilling to attend San Diego, or who may not feel 100% ready to be in groups of people, or for whatever reason. We have something for everyone. So no matter where they live or how far they want to walk, the 3-Day Nation is a way that we can still continue to come together as a community, even during times of physical separation, or you know, kind of the uncertainty of 2021 as well. I won't talk too much about this today because, you know, I do want to talk a lot about San Diego, but you can find out more about 3-Day Nation at the3day.org. So as I mentioned, the San Diego 3-day is our fully in-person 3-day event this year, November 19th through the 21st. We expect approximately 3,500 people to register between our walkers who walk the full 60 miles, and we also have a 20-mile Sunday option, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and our crew members. Our walkers raise a minimum of $2,300 per person, and many go above and beyond. And that said, I know $2,300 is a lot of money to raise, but we have tons of resources and years of experience to help everyone get to their goal. So I'm going to talk about some of the major components of the 3-day, specifically here in San Diego. Next slide, please. So as we talk about holding the in-person event in San Diego, we will be following all the CDC and local government guidelines. And as we're moving into a reopening of San Diego, we still want to make sure that we're hosting our event as safely as possible. And we want to ensure we're taking special care with our 3-day community. But traditionally, we start on Friday of event weekend, bright and early at the Del Mar Fairgrounds with an inspiring and energetic opening ceremony before we send walkers off on their first really day of, it's usually a little bit more than 20 miles. We usually cover a little bit more than 20 miles on the first 2 days and a little bit less on the final day on Sunday. But we walk through downtown Del Mar where the businesses come out, and they are amazing. They cheer on our walkers like rock stars. We climb the big hill at Torrey Pines, so that's always a fun one. We stop at the beach in La Jolla for lunch on the ocean front and finish in Mission Bay, where people either camp out with us, like I said, as we provide kind of a mini city, or people choose sometimes to book their own hotel rooms and stay where they like. Some people just do not want to camp, and I understand that completely. So, you know, they can choose their own adventure as far as that goes. But something special about the 3 days, we really do celebrate everyone and everyone's journey. And it's not about being first. And we celebrate the last person into camp with a little ceremony where everybody comes out and they cheer that person in, and they come in and they raise the final flag of the day to let everyone know that the last person is made at home for the night. Next is Saturday at camp. We start by celebrating our top fundraisers and our training walk leaders and other special recognition categories with the Bank of America Breakfast of Champions. And then again, it's time to get on the road. So it's a loop on Saturday. We start and finish at camp. Some really beautiful views as we walk through Sunset Cliffs and along the water in Mission Bay. And Saturday's really an emotional day as our feet and legs are tired, but our will is strong. So we finish Saturday night with our honor ceremony. And this is a special ceremony where we all come together and honor those who inspire us to walk and crew and raise critical funds to support Komen's mission to prevent and cure breast cancer. And the final day, Sunday, although it looks a little bit like the day after a marathon, if you've ever been at camp on Sunday morning, it's our slowest moving morning of the event. But it turns into a party. It's the shortest day, and our walkers are really excited. The restaurants and community in Old Town come out and support the walkers as they get ready to walk up Juan Street. If you've ever walked up Juan Street, you know it's not easy on fresh legs, much less on legs with 50 miles on them, but it's a huge accomplishment, and we all make it up the hill together. So after Balboa Park and Little Italy, we end at Waterfront Park to a celebration of what we've done, and a touching closing ceremony before heading back home, most likely for a foot rub or a soak in the tub. But it's an amazing weekend, and we are so grateful for the San Diego community for all they do for their support. So how can you participate? You can commit and walk with us 3 days, 60 miles as a part of San Diego, or you can walk 3-day nation, or you can do both. If you're not ready to fully commit to 60 miles, we do have a 20-mile program that just does the Sunday portion of the 3-day. It's a great way to kind of dip your toe in. And normally we would have openings for what we call crew. These are people who volunteer their entire weekend. They camp out with us. They're a huge part of the event. We couldn't put it on without them. But because of the shift this year to just the 2 options, we probably won't have any crew openings this year. But if you are interested, please keep an eye out for 2022. We also have day volunteers. We'll open up that registration about a month before the event. And our day volunteers do things like hand out medals and help us with luggage. So again, if you're interested in volunteering, we will have that information on the website coming up closer to the event. And then I just want to say on one last note, you certainly don't have to choose between, doing the San Diego More Than Pink Walk and the 3-day. We do have lots of people who do both. We'll have a 3-day team out for San Diego, and we would love to see you all there. Leah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Stephanie. We really appreciate that. So if you want to get more involved, we'll have Stephanie's contact information, or you can go to the3day.org and get more information there. And with that, I want to jump into our upcoming events. So we have a lot on our schedule this year, which we're very excited about to get back into the swing of things and start providing experiences for our community. And the first one that we have is Comedians Unplugged, live from Southern California. And we've partnered up with our neighbors in Los Angeles, Orange County, and now Inland Empire to produce this event for Southern California and beyond. It's a virtual event, and I'll go into more details in just a second. But we also are excited to launch National Breast Cancer Action Month with Dine Out for the Cure scheduled for October 1st. So we're very excited to, again, partner with our community restaurants and cafes to provide this collaborative support, especially after the year that the hospitality industry has had with the pandemic. So we're really fortunate to have great community partners, and we're so excited for this event this year. We will be hosting our mammogram event, which partners up with the San Diego Padres and the Padres Foundation to provide uninsured, underinsured, and low-income San Diegans with same-day mammograms. That event will be in October. We haven't set a date for that, but please look forward for that to see about potential volunteer and just helping us with that. And then another new update is our San Diego More Than Pink Walk, which will be happening on November 7th. The date hasn't changed, just the name. So we'll go. And we are hard at work to provide a really fun experience for this Comedians Unplugged event. We have so much that we are providing as far as entertainment. We are very excited to have Komen board member, philanthropist, artist, and business leader Kwanzaa Jones as our special guest host. She'll be sitting down and having very intimate but fun conversations with Tiffany Haddish and Tig Notaro on July 16th. We're going to have fun pre-show options that are immersive experiences partnered with some of our ticketing options. So that starts at 5 p.m. and then our program will start at 6 p.m. Tickets start at $75, and you can find more information at KomenComedyNight.org. So please join us on July 16th. The San Diego Race for the Cure is now the San Diego More Than Pink Walk. And the walk is a new experience that involves, engages, and drives a more personal connection to the breast cancer movement for the hundreds of thousands of people who walk with Komen every year. So we take action by raising money for all of the 4 areas of impact that you see here on the screen, providing a more comprehensive and holistic approach to fighting breast cancer. So you may have seen us highlight these pillars at previous races. So Komen has shifted its focus of primarily racing for the cure to a more comprehensive approach by addressing all of the areas that affect breast cancer patients. And what you can look forward to, we have areas of impact that give participants a closer look at how their efforts are moving the needle in breast cancer research and in local breast cancer programs. More opportunities for our community and corporate partners to support us at the event and engage with everyone at the event, and a greater focus on the participant engagement, sharing stories, and relationship building leading up to and on event day. So we're really excited about this change to the More Than Pink Walk, and we'll be launching that on registration opens this Thursday. You should all be receiving an email Thursday morning. And then some of you might be getting personal phone calls from us here in San Diego over the next couple of days as well. So please be on the lookout for those. And with that, I'd like to hand it back over to Francisco.
Oh, yeah. And so here we have our upcoming town hall dates. So we have Tuesday, August 10th at 9 a.m., Tuesday, November 9th at 9 a.m., and then starting off next year, Tuesday, February 8th at 9 a.m. And we really try to keep them consistent by having them on Tuesday mornings, once per quarter. Next slide, please. And so now it's my pleasure to introduce Karen Sorelli, who's the Senior Vice President and San Diego Market Manager at Odyssey. And their portfolio of top radio stations includes longtime race sponsors like Sunny 98.1 and Kixie 96.5. And I'll also add that Karen is a longtime Komen champion who has served on the board for both Komen Atlanta and Komen San Diego. And we're very grateful to have her now serving as the chair of our brand new Komen Leadership Council here in San Diego. Karen?
Morning. Well, I got to tell you, I'm super, super excited and looking forward to the great things we have ahead for the year coming up. Some really good stuff on here. And I'm proud to introduce to everybody the San Diego Leadership Council. So we can move to the next slide, and I'll introduce our Leadership Council. So we have Lillian Van Vigray. She is the Senior Vice President and Educational Entities Practice Leader at Alliant Insurance. We have Mary Jean Anderson, owner and president of Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Rima Batra, MD, medical oncologist and hematologist, Cancer Center Oncology Medical Group. Kristen Cohen, Director of Administration, Boxer Capital, LLC. Lori Coleman, MD, radiation oncologist, X-Ray Medical Group, Radiation Oncology Incorporated. Paula D'Souza, partner at Best and Krieger, LLC. Next slide, because yes, there's more. We have Nia Krishnamohan, who is the Vice President, Goldman Sachs Healthcare Investment Banking Group. Rick Melitti, CEO and Executive Creative Director at Innovision Marketing Group. Fred Nasseri, owner and CEO of Unicorn Jewelry. Marilee Neal, community volunteer and our immediate past board chair. Sunanda Pejavar, MD, radiation oncologist, X-Ray Medical Group and Radiation Oncology Incorporated. And Angelique Richardson, MD, PhD, the assistant clinical professor and breast medical oncologist, UC San Diego Morris Cancer Center. So thank you so much to everyone who is on the Leadership Council this year, and I look forward to having a wonderful year with everybody. Thank you. Back to you, Francisco.
Thank you, Karen. We're really grateful to have such an amazing group of community and business leaders to act as our champions. So that leads us onto the next slide. We really wanted to provide some quick spotlights for other organizations and individuals who really, in the community, making our work possible. So first up, we would like to highlight one of our longest running community partnerships with Wawanisa Insurance. And as you can read on the quote on the screen, looking after one another is really at the heart of who Wawanisa is as a company. And they have been helping us look after our patients and their families for over a decade now, as a Race for the Cure sponsor since 2011. And during that time, their company has single-handedly donated enough funds to cover the cost of running a breast cancer research lab for over a year, which is, truly amazing. And we're so grateful for their partnership and are really excited to announce that Wawanisa will be returning this year as the virtual starting line sponsor for our first ever More Than Pink Walk. And then next slide. All right, so now we wanted to give a special shout out to Barbara Schaefer, who we are so excited to have as our 2021 More Than Pink Walk chairperson. And anyone who's been involved in the race before probably knows Barbara because she's been walking with us for the last 24 years, every year. And you can see a lot of her race medals over the years on display on your screen. And she is also a longtime top fundraiser and personally raised over $13,000 last year alone. And most importantly, Barbara brings a tremendous amount of energy and experience to her leadership of our walk committee. So thank you, Barbara, for everything that you do. And I know that Barbara is on our call today. So Barbara, would you like to say a few words?
Now that I've unmuted myself, yes. Thank you for the very kind words. I have been involved with Komen for ever since my diagnosis, which was April 4th, 1997. And I was stage 3B. I had chemotherapy and radiation. And the very first walk that I attended was in July, just a few months later. And I was actually too sick to actually walk the walk, and it was actually down in the Embarcadero before it moved to Balboa Park. And so I've seen the walk grow and everything, and I am always inspired by the amount of community support. So I'm super excited to be a part of this, and that when Komen San Diego approached me to be the chair, I hesitated at first because I know I have some big shoes to fill, but I also feel that I can bring something to the walk that continues our traditions here in San Diego. And I look forward to meeting all of you at some point during this journey. And I'm open to any ideas and suggestions to make this year an amazing one for the very newly diagnosed person to the very seasoned survivor, and have them, you know, raise money for this amazing cause that, and why we're all here is to find an end to breast cancer. So thank you. I look forward to meeting you, and thank you for, again, Francisco and the Komen team for trusting me with this very huge honor.
You're amazing, Barbara, and you definitely bring so much to the team.
Thanks.
All right. And I want to quickly add that we are looking for some additional superstar volunteers to join this year's More Than Pink Walk Committee. So if anyone is interested, you can reach out directly to Leah, and she can give you some more information on that. If we go to the next screen. So here you can see Leah's contact information if you'd like to learn more about the committee. Stephanie's contact information is here as well if you'd like to learn more about 3-Day. And then it also has the contact information for every Komen staff member who calls San Diego home. And we'll give you just a minute if you'd like to copy down any of that information.
And thank you, Francisco. Next, we'll just open it up to any questions. We will take it off of presentation mode, and just so we can see everybody's faces as we answer any questions. But if you do need this contact information, please just let us know. We'll be happy to share it, and we're happy to connect you with whoever it is that you're trying to find. I'll stop sharing. And does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. So Leah, for the More Than Pink Walk, will there be a cost to register this year?
No, so that is one thing that is different from the race. There is no cost to register. It's free registration, and we just ask that you fundraise, similar to how we had our format last year. So with that, there is a change in what is provided. So everyone that attends the walk will receive like a event day gift in the form of a buff neck gaiter thing. But you do need to raise $100 in order to get the t-shirt, the event t-shirt. All survivors and metastatic breast cancer patients will receive their own designated t-shirt as well.
Leah, I think you said this, but I just want to make sure the comedy night, is that fully virtual or is there any sort of in-person option?
It is fully virtual. So this is a live stream that you will, once you log into the system that you registered with, that's where you'll be viewing the event on the night of. There are options, obviously, technology that you can hook that up or cast that to your television to make viewing a little bit easier. We do have some fun upgraded ticket options. One is a mixology box that you'll be receiving that partners with our mixology demonstration for our pre-show. So that's a very exciting option, as well as an in-home experience for hosting, which receives the mixology box for 8 people, charcuterie for 8 people, and table settings with a beautiful tablescape, you know, plates, little charcuterie boards, like individualized, fun, you know, like all the decorations to do. So if you want to host a viewing party, that's the option for you. So as always, we are recording this. So if anybody does want to review this, we'll post this up and send out our presentation to everyone afterwards with a follow-up. And you'll be able to review any of the information that we've shared today. If there is any specific information as far as the updates that we've given with feeding patients, with our public policy and advocacy, I'm happy to share documents that cover that as well. And if no one else has any questions, we can go ahead and end. And I do want to say thank you for joining us today. We're very excited about everything that we have coming up and just hope that we can provide something for everyone to become engaged and have a really fun experience with Komen this year.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you soon.